realize I always start off my lives by saying that, so I'm sorry if it's annoying. I never know how to start. So today I am doing a quick video with makeup tips on how, or makeup tips for mature skin. A few weeks ago, I think, I posted a something asking like what are some things that you guys need help with. Since I am doing these weekly lives, I don't want to run out of things to show y'all and teach y'all. So a lot of y'all did actually post some things that I myself don't really know. So like this one, for example, I am 33. Whenever I turn, or sorry, 33, I don't know how old I am. I'm 31, sorry. I just aged myself a couple years. I realized whenever I turned 31, I started seeing the effects of aging and like lines on my forehead and around my eyes. So I really started focusing on those areas, and it took about 6 months, I would say. Hey, Raylan, to combat those and start seeing the reverse, what am I thinking of? Reverse side effects of that. So it really super is important to take care of your skin earlier rather than later, because it does take a long time sometimes, like depending on how severe it is, to reverse those. So I highly recommend starting early with skincare. That's going to be probably one of my biggest things. But if you already have mature skin and you're starting to see those effects, and you want some makeup tips. Hey, Linda, how are you? I did do a little bit of research on a couple different websites. I've made some notes down here, so if you see me looking down and reading, that's what I'm doing. But all of it makes sense. I hear, my mom sometimes calls me and she says, hey, you should really talk to your people about this thing that I learned. Hey, Brandy. So different tips that she's learned to help with her mature skin. So some of these things I remember like, oh yeah, my mom said that. So the first thing is, number one is going to be skincare. You want to do like highly moisturizing products. Still wash your face morning and night, and then moisturize immediately after. You want those thick based moisturizers. Hey, Brandy. So your skin can really soak those in, and I suggest starting with a serum before you apply moisturizer, because the serum is going to help that moisturizer soak into your skin a lot slower versus just like drinking it all up really quickly. And so like throughout the night, your skin's going to be getting moisturized, and then throughout the day whenever you apply it in the morning. So that's my first tip. Unique does have it's called our Uology line, and you pick 3 boosters based on your skincare needs. Our night cream is thicker than our day cream, so that's going to be one that I would probably suggest maybe just using day and night, depending on how severe your skin is, with maybe like fine lines and wrinkles, things like that. But before whenever you wake up in the morning and you're getting ready to put on makeup, you want to start and prep your skin with a moisturizer and a moisturizing primer. So I'm actually going to put our night cream on. You really only need a little bit. Hey, Anna. Hey, Erica. And if you have a lot of fine lines under your eyes, it's really good. I watched a YouTube video where this guy was saying, if you've got time, you want to put the cream under your eyes, wait like 5 minutes or so, put some more on under your eyes, and kind of keep like building it up and letting your skin drink it in until it fills in those fine lines. So I thought that was pretty cool. But you do have to have extra time to do that. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Megan. And then, so we've got our moisturizer on, and then you want a moisturizing primer. We actually have a hydrating primer that I'm going to be using. This is really, really good if you've got dry skin. It's a clear primer. It's a little bit thinner than our normal primer, or our original one. Hey Audra, if y'all have any tips about some makeup tips for mature skin, please feel free to type them in the comments. I just did a little bit of research before I started. But if you have mature skin, obviously, and you've got tips that you want to share that you've kind of found over the years that have worked for you, please feel free to share those with us also. Okay, so I've got my hydrating primer on. The next thing is picking a lightweight foundation or BB cream. I know my mom really loves the BB cream. That's just a tinted moisturizer. It's made with shea butter. It has a natural SPF of 5, I think. So that's a really, really good one. It's a very light, it's only tinted. It's not like a really full medium or full coverage product. That one also leaves a dewy finish. Hey Isabel. So if you like a very natural look and you just want to enhance your complexion, then I would say go with the BB cream. But you could also use either our liquid foundation, which is very, very lightweight. It's like water almost consistency, but it still has a medium coverage. Or even our spray foundation is super duper lightweight. This is one of my mom's new favorites. Linda says, so do I use hyaluronic serum first before moisturizing? I hope I pronounced that right. But yes, I would say use any serum that you have before moisturizing, because it kind of creates a little bit of a barrier between your skin and the moisturizer, so your skin doesn't just drink it right up. So I'm just going to do our liquid foundation. It's a super easy foundation. It's kind of one of my daily go-tos. Hey Candace. Our spray foundation is super amazing if you love a full coverage foundation. The liquid foundation is more of a medium coverage foundation. So if you have more severe, maybe dark spots, maybe like redness, you'll probably like the spray foundation. I don't even need concealer whenever I use that one. So like under my eyes where I've got dark circles, or if I've got blemishes, I just use the spray foundation on those. I don't need a concealer on top of them. But I am going to talk a little bit about concealer. So I'm going to use the liquid foundation. The sites that I was reading did suggest either a damp beauty blender or a brush to apply your foundation. The damp beauty blender is key, damp being the key word, because that's going to really help blend out your foundation, and it's not going to soak up a lot of foundation, so you're going to be able to use less product, and that way the money you've spent goes a little bit longer. With the liquid foundation though, I'm just going to start with 5 drops. I think that's 5 drops, 5 or 6. I wasn't counting when I was doing that. And then I just blot it all over, and then we blend it out. Depending on the brushes that you use, you want a pretty fairly soft brush, and I really like the flat kabuki brushes because I'm able to fit more product on here and I don't have to go back to build it up. But I say a soft brush because you don't want to be exfoliating your skin while you're applying foundation, because that's going to make it's going to look kind of cakey. So you really do want a soft brush. So let's see what the next thing is. The next thing is concealer, which we will use a little bit. And the sites that I found did suggest using concealer after your foundation. And that's going to be, that's going to be like if you need to cover up dark circles, or if you have dark spots or redness, then those are reasons why you'd want to use concealer. And you'll want to use a concealer that's similar to the color of your foundation. You'll see like people that are talking about contouring, they use a concealer that's way lighter than their foundation. But all the stuff that I was reading suggested you use one that's similar to your foundation. So you don't want it to be super light. So I'm going to put concealer under my eyes. This kind of sounds silly, but I saw someone put on a concealer one time in a live video, and she had fine lines under her eyes, and kind of just like that loose skin. And she was using a brush, and the brush was like, it looked like it was setting into her loose skin and fine lines. And so I don't know if I would recommend a brush when you're putting on concealer in areas where you might have looser skin. I'd probably say the Beauty Blender is really good, and I just like to use my fingers. I'm not wasting any product whenever I use those. But yeah, the brushes didn't seem, whenever I was watching her do it, it just didn't seem like it was doing what it was supposed to. So just a damp Beauty Blender is really good, or your fingers like I just did. Okay, so what's next? Adding some color to our cheeks. So it was suggesting using a very light blush, and starting at the like apples of your cheeks and then blending it up to lift your face. Hey Fawn, hey Ames. So actually let me find a light blush because the one I use is a little bit darker. I do have a really pretty pink one. Here it is. So we're gonna start just on the apples of our cheeks, and I'm hardly touching my face with my brush here. And just blending wise, I'm blending, you can kind of see how I blended up through my cheekbone. Oh, sorry guys. What did Brandy say? Your mom moisturizes, primes with a brightening primer, concealer under eyes, and then use the powder foundation with a flat top kabuki brush like you were using. It looks really good on her mature skin. She's 71. Then she follows through the rest of her makeup. Oh, okay, so powder foundation. Did you say pressed powder? Is it a pressed powder or a loose powder foundation? Anytime I hear some of my more mature friends, they always say they like the powder foundations. I hear conflicting things. I hear that they like the powder foundations, and then as some of my younger friends get older, they say they were using powder foundations, and then they started using like a dewy finish type foundation because they felt that helped their skin look younger. So, but you said she has a brightening primer. So she uses a pressed powder. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I think it really like play with the different products that you have. And so the powder foundations, I know a lot of women like because that really helps it'll like set into your like imperfections, like fine lines and things like that. But you can build on top of it to where then it'll, I had a conflicting thought in my head. Sorry. Then it will look like a more smoother surface. But primer also is a really good product to use to fill in those imperfections too. Okay, so we got the blush on. Okay, then the next tip was to prevent your lipstick from bleeding. Hey, Tanya. Because as we get older, we do get these little lines around our lips, and depending on the lipsticks that we use, that can bleed like outside of your lip line. So it was suggesting putting concealer around your lips. So that would fill in any little fine lines that you have. Your brightening primer is more hydrating. Yeah, that was one of the things I read that it suggested. Brightening helps with the moisture. Yeah, definitely. I can see that. Okay, I'll probably just use my fingers. Oh, no, here we go. I'm going to use this cream shadow brush. I'm going to put a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand and then dip my brush into it. And yeah, it said I've never done this. It said putting concealer around your lips and then we'll blend it out. I bet that's going to make our lips look really pouty too. I'm going to go back through with my kabuki brush. Brandy, I've never used a kabuki brush for a pressed powder. I've always used a powder brush, so that, I'm going to have to try that. Okay, so that just kind of set into our little fine lines that we've got around our lips. And then it says to use a lip liner. I should have grabbed that before I started. Oh, to use that brush? Okay, cool. Yeah, I definitely don't get a lot of coverage whenever I use my kabuki or when I use my pressed powder. Concealer around lips, use a lip liner, use a natural color for best results. So a color that's going to be the most similar to your natural lip color. And then use a moisturizing gloss and lipstick. So let's see what colors we've got in our lip liners. Okay, so this one's always a really natural color. This one is called Prudent. Do I need to sharpen it? No. So I already know too, my mom always taught me this. Putting the lip liner around your lip will help keep your lipstick from bleeding. Because that's also filling in those lines around the edge of your lip. Can you see them? They are very fluffy. Scabbers actually lost a lot of weight when I realized his teeth were growing and he wasn't eating. And he plumped up real quick after that. Okay. I love that color. Okay, and then it says to use a moisturizing lip gloss or lipstick. So I am actually a lipstick or lip gloss person, and I love our lip glosses. They are super moisturizing. I use these more than I use chapstick now. Hey, Tina, and it doesn't feel sticky. I've used some lip glosses before that are just like really not fun. And this has been my favorite color since forever, and the color is Luxe. So lip glosses, I guess, are good if you prefer a glossy look, and then maybe a lipstick might be better if you prefer a more matte finish. Okay, eyeshadow is next, and The biggest thing I saw when using eyeshadow on mature skin is not using super glittery ones. So it says that as you get older, your, eyelids can start getting a little bit more droopy and creasing, and having a glittery eyeshadow can kind of really bring that to the forefront. So it was saying light shimmery eyeshadows are okay, and you want to use light colors. So of course I'm going to use palette 1 because that's always my go-to whenever I think about light colors and natural colors. My sister made me pop out one of my shades there. It was her favorite shade, and she ran out of hers in her palette. So I always start with Elated, which is this just very light color, and I just set it as a base. I might have some other eyeshadow on here that's not usually as dark as it is. I should have wiped it off before I started. Oh well. And I'm just putting it all over from like the bottom of my lid all the way up to the top of my brow bone. And then Chipper is a really good, just light natural brown. And I just am tapping my brush in my palette here. And then I'm going to clean off or like dump off any extra powder so it doesn't fly all over my face. And then I just sweep back and forth like a windshield wiper with, this is a blending brush. Hey, Kayla. And just back and forth until I feel like it's blended out. And I'm gonna blend it a little bit more in circular motions in that corners, like the inner and the outer corner. But that's just a super easy look. And if you've got light colored eyes, this really brings them out. Next eye. And so I know as we get older, the skin on our eyes kind of gets a little bit more loose and drooping. So I would suggest going above your crease and blending down. Even if that's going up to our brow bone a little bit. So that way, even when you're opening your eyes, you can see the color, that transition color. Hey, Kristen. And then again, I'm just going to blend it on the inside corner and the outside corner. And then I'm going back to that first color that I used just to blend from the top and then down. It'll just blend everything together. So that was just two colors, one brush. There we go. Okay, and for eyeliner, it says don't use liquid eyeliners. You should use pencil eyeliners, and you should use soft browns or taupes. So I actually have brown. What's it called? Prim. Do I need to sharpen it? No. And it said to just apply it like regular eyeliner on the top. What's this called? Tight line. It's like right on your lash line. And then I think that's tight line. I don't know what the terms are. I'm sorry. It did suggest not using eyeliner on the bottom though, because that can make your eyes look smaller. So I'm just doing it like right above my lash line, and then we're gonna do it like in our lash line. I think the in our lash line is the tight line. There we go. I think we have a darker brown. I know if you've got maybe more tan skin than me, you'll probably want a darker brown. Okay. brows were next, and so I know as we age, our brows can kind of start changing shapes. They'll maybe thin out, be a little bit patchy for some people, and so it suggests adding a little bit of color to fill in any imperfections that our brows might have, and brushing them up. So I'm going to brush them first, and I am brushing them up and then over. So that already kind of just helped a lot because they were a mess for a second. Hey, Annika. And then I really like our brow pencil. Wrong side. That also has a brush built into it, actually. And this comes in 3 colors, light, medium, and dark, or like blonde, brown, and like brunette, black. Hey, Vanessa. And I'm just going to fill in any little patches that I have with it. It's super easy to use. The liner on it is really, really thin, and it like moves up like a mechanical pencil. You don't have to sharpen it. Just super quick. I'm not really changing the shape, but you can with this pencil. But yeah, I'm just kind of filling in what's already there, or what's missing rather, and just making it all one color, because this is very slightly darker than what my natural brows are. So that's the difference, if y'all can tell. Like this side just like lifted up compared to this side. I do like it better than the powder. The only thing I don't like is how long it lasts. Like if I use this every day, I'd have to get a new pencil every month. Whereas the palette with the powder lasts me like almost a year probably. Hey, Mia. So what I'm noticing right now while I'm talking to y'all is, sorry guys, I should maybe open up that door a little bit. There's a little bit of a shine on my forehead, and that's because I used the moisturizer and the hydrating primer before I started. This foundation is more of a matte finish, but because I'm like super moisturized underneath, it's still giving me a little bit of a glow. So I've heard from a couple of my friends that are aging that they do like that little bit of a dewy finish to help give their skin like a younger look. Okay, what's next? Brows was that. Curling your lashes. It does say curled lashes give you a younger look. I don't have an eyelash curler. I'm so sorry, but the suggestion it made was to apply or to curl your lashes before you apply the mascara. I'm just going to apply a little bit of 4D mascara just because I can't complete a look without mascara. Oh, that was another thing. It says to use black mascara. So curl your lashes before you apply mascara and use a black mascara because that gives you a younger look. I know our Epic mascara will curl your lashes naturally. And I've seen a trick where you apply a coat of mascara and then you take your blow dryer and like while the mascara is still wet and blow it up towards your lashes to curl them. I'd probably say if you're going for a little bit of a younger look too, to definitely put some mascara on your bottom lashes. Okay, I'm just doing one coat. And while we're at it, if y'all are looking for mascara tips, since I'm applying it anyways, I love the like rocking the wand back and forth and then swooping the wand up to, it just grabs all your lashes and makes sure it's like, it makes them longer and thicker looking. What's funny? Sorry, there's a lag when y'all are commenting and I'm talking, so I've already like blabbed on about whatever I was talking about. Okay, so I'm just doing 1 coat of mascara, but y'all can do as many coats as you want to. I usually prefer 2 coats of mascara. It did say to highlight your cheekbones, which I thought was very interesting because every mature friend that I talk to, oh yeah, blow dryer it's a funny trick. I've never done it myself, but I've seen people do it. They don't think putting a little shimmer on the top of their cheekbones is good because they think it makes them look older. But everything I was reading was saying to put a little bit of highlighter on the top of your cheekbones. And y'all know I love some highlight. Right? It's a good trick. It did only say the cheekbones though, not the bridge of your nose or your Cupid's bow here. So we're not going to do all that this time, but I definitely recommend a fan brush for any type of highlight, powder highlight anyways. Highlight cheekbones. Oh yeah. And then the next thing was removing your makeup, and it suggested removing it with coconut oil. So I know coconut oil has a really low heating point. So even just putting it on your skin, it's going to help melt it, and then just rubbing it all over your face and, you know, your eyes and your eyebrows and everything, wherever you put makeup on, it's going to help melt that makeup away. And then you'll rinse or wipe it off depending on whatever your routine is, and then you'll apply your cleanser. So 1, it's taking off your makeup, and 2, it's moisturizing your skin. And I brought our other liquid foundation. I brought our liquid foundation, or sorry, our liquid makeup remover, but we do actually have a coconut oil makeup remover, and it's just a little stick, and it almost looks like the, you know, stick glue that we would use in school, and you just wipe it everywhere along your face and you rub it in, and then you'll wipe it or rinse it off. But I've personally been using our liquid makeup remover. It's alcohol and oil free, but it's still super moisturizing for your skin. And it's made with water, silicone, and glycerin. So it feels kind of oily, but I guess that's the silicone and glycerin. I don't know. But I love this. You shake it first so that way the ingredients will mix. And then you know, I just put a little, sorry. Or you can put like it on a little cloth or whatever and then rub it all over your face. It literally melts all your makeup off, and then you rinse it, and then you apply your cleanser to actually wash your face. Yeah, all skin types, coconut oil. Coconut oil is good for everything though. So the little key tips that it did give at the end, some of the sites that I was looking at is saying less is more. And whenever I think of that, I think of like thick foundations that are going to look cakey on your skin and maybe set into any fine lines or wrinkles that you have. So you don't want that. You want a really light foundation. You don't want super dark lipstick or super dark eyeshadow. Some people can pull it off. So I'm not saying don't do it. Like, you still do you. These are just tips that maybe if you maybe don't wear a lot of makeup and you kind of want to transition into wearing makeup and you have mature skin, those are going to be some things that maybe you want to start with. My biggest thing, I think, is if you're going to wear a dark eye, you wear a light lip, and vice versa. Don't wear a dark because then you just look like you don't want to know. And then wear it with confidence. So that's probably my biggest takeaway from all of this. Even if you don't wear a lot of makeup, you want to still present like you have confidence. But for me, putting on makeup gives me confidence. So just be confident whenever you're applying it, and walk out with confidence, and people are, you know, they're not going to look at you like you don't know what you're doing. And then one of the sites gave this really cool quote by David Bowie, and it says, "Aging is an extraordinary process where you become the person you always should have been." And I just love that, because for me personally, like, I picture a person that I want to be, and every day I age and every day I get closer to being that person. So I just love that. So it's almost like every day you've got a new day to become the person you want to be. So that's all the tips that I have. I don't know why I'm out of breath. I've been talking a lot. I'm sorry, guys. Per usual, I'm gonna upload these to YouTube's, and I do have a YouTube channel, so even if you miss my Monday lives, you can check me out on YouTube, because I know Facebook kind of loses the posts sometimes. So you can actually subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to, and you'll get notified whenever I upload a new video, which would be every Monday. And if y'all have any tips that you need, some makeup, skincare, or health tips, I did become a certified health coach for the weight loss program that I joined. If y'all want any tips on any of those things, then please put them in the comments, message me, whatever you want to do if you want to stay anonymous. And that way I've got some more material for these lives. I'm about to run out in a few weeks, so I hope y'all enjoyed everything though, and maybe you learned something. I don't know. But I enjoy doing these, so regardless, it just got me out of watching TV for another hour. So yeah, I hope y'all have a good night and you're staying safe and being smart, and hopefully we can get out and go back to work like normal soon. But it sounds like it won't be until the end of April, so we'll see. Okay, love y'all. Bye.